Wanted to drop in here and speak into a little bit of expression, something that for such long periods in my life I've never been good at, and I'm far from where I want to be. And that's probably primarily due to probably upbringing, being very old school from one parent, and then observing another parent who was probably judged for being expressive by extended family, even friends of theirs and friends of mine or my siblings. So yeah, I guess there's always been a lot of vulnerability, not a little. There's still a little bit of vulnerability around expressing, and sorry about the camera, I'm trying to get away from the sun. Yeah, there's always going to be, we can all express a lot more than we currently do. But yeah, I guess there's so many groups, and especially men's groups around now, and training programs online, and the likes of Livin and a men group, and yeah, there's so many. The Alpha Code, yeah, there's so many means to of gateways or avenues to go down in order to help us all express more or bring that out in ourselves. But I'd like to probably just express to everyone that just speak intuitively what comes through yourself, whether that being paying someone a compliment in the street, or yeah, asking a stranger a question if something springs to mind, or yeah, or you know, like telling someone you're not okay if you're not okay, or expressing to someone yeah, something that's brought you joy in a given day, or yeah, there's so many things to express around, or share, or and get it out, opposed to holding it all in here and internalizing it and over analyzing it. Speak it and share it with somebody, or write it down and express it that way. I know for myself, even probably for potentially the last 10 years, I've even been writing letters to people that I never actually send the letter to, but I write it in order to heal and be okay with what has gone on. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but to give you a shorter version of a longer story, I guess there's a lot of stuff that I've written to my parents I've never expressed to them. Some of the things I have expressed to them, but I guess it was my way of healing within myself what had gone on, and being okay with that, but also acknowledging my part I played in all of it as well. So yeah, there's so many avenues to do so, even if it is expressing to family, friends, or whoever it might be. Maybe something that's been on your mind for such a long time, or something that's potentially tyrannized you for a great deal of your life. Yeah, expression is definitely key to this world, and the more we do it, the more we'll open our hearts, and we'll also allow other people to express back to us. You'll open a gateway as such. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I wanted to share this with the world, or whoever might like to watch this long-winded video. For myself, I was probably in a lot of attachment to identifying myself as like this young teenager who was trying to make it in sport and whatnot, and at an all-boys school. And going to an all-boys school, you probably aren't traditionally guided to express a lot, unless it's like in a competitive way. So I guess speaking from the heart didn't really start happening until probably a few years back. Well, actually I guess I picked up The Secret in maybe 2009, and then a follow on from that is I picked up a book when I was in an airport going to see my sister in Melbourne. I picked up a book, and it came at the very right time to myself, and it was called How to Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And yeah, she has a lot of books around self-love, and yeah, she's very has some profound teachings in that sense. Yeah, and then what was to follow was going to a Hay House Summit a few years later in like 2012, and that even opened me up even more so. And I'm far from completely open at the moment, and that didn't completely open me, but I guess there's been a lot of things that have gone by or happened or I've allowed in order to open up my heart space and allow me to express more and more. And probably a lot of that also stems from connecting back with my family after, I guess, living away from all forms of family for such a long time. When I was probably living in Auckland for 5 or 6 years. So yeah, having family around that kind of pull that out of you, and you feel safe in order to express around them, which I guess then stems into expressing to extensions of family and friends and work colleagues and whatnot. But that isn't always the case. Like, some people can't express to their family if their family aren't expressors, or somewhat stuck in different ways, or attached to one way of living or one way of being, or yeah, they could be very swayed by media or the news and whatnot, or they just grew up in a time where there was only one way of doing things, and that's a formula that potentially has worked for them. But yeah, I guess everyone has their own forms of expressing, and I'm a great believer that expressing also helps with not only mental health but physical and well-being as well. Both physical and mental well-being, being that you're not holding on to anything if you're expressing it and you're getting it out. That way you're not I guess you're not holding on to it, so you're not putting strain on your nervous system or stress in any way. If you're getting it out and expressing it and letting love come in and softening from there, then you're going to go a long way to keeping physically healthy as well. Excuse me, Jesus, passing some wind. Anyway, that is a bit of a ramble from myself, and yeah, a good friend of mine, I guess we have very long-winded conversations, and she's encouraged me to express more about the conversations we have, and yeah, I'm also grateful for that, because I guess it's not that I was hoping for someone to allow me to do so or giving me the approval to do so, but it's nice to, I guess, get a compliment in terms of someone I guess I wouldn't say acknowledging, but expressing to oneself that they, what's the words I'm looking for? Value. I'm just trying to get away from approval and value, but I guess they get good insight out of it, and it does. It brings some different perspectives to other people's lives. So yeah, anyway, if you do listen to this video or watch this video, I should say, hope you gain something from it. But if anything, I guess above all, I'm just encouraging people to express more, whether you be male or female. But I know for myself and the youth I've had, and I guess my brothers have had, and that's not always easy. But yeah, everything starts by, I guess, having that first expression, and